Yeah, Mark and Lori, we are not far away from the scene of a shooting late Friday night that came just a few hours after a young man was killed up the street. They are incidents which are prompting new questions about what Seattle police are going to do to lower those numbers. 3 days have gone by and the voices still echo. Royale Lexing died in a flurry of gunfire at the corner of 21st and Union.
We really got to stop the killing. Another innocent child shot dead in the street in the broad daylight, and nobody knows anything.
For the mayor's office to consider, because
Today,
there has been a particular spate of gun violence on that specific block.
a call for unity and answers.
It certainly is, I think, in certain instances, acute in District 3, but I think it certainly is a citywide issue and would welcome the opportunity to partner with you to frame the conversation.
The council seeming to agree on a hearing about recent events, the shooting on Union, another a few hours later on Jackson, and what seems like a spree of gun-related injuries in the Central District. The numbers tell a different, more complex story. That serious crime, including assault and robbery, is more prevalent on the north and west ends of the city, but also a disproportionate amount of shots fired continue to happen in the Central District and South End.
He just was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Seattle police say their ongoing emphasis to reduce gun crime here continues. And while there have been signs of success, there is another reminder of the work that still needs to be done. Some of that work in the city involves getting local churches on board with city outreach, and also the Department of Corrections. The city has been working with the state to try and add some extra outreach for high-profile offenders. That's the story for now. Live in Seattle, Chris Daniels, King 5 News.